Hello everyone. You can see that I'm here on Twitter, just scrolling down, and there's this keyword up here, GPT-4o, and that's because ChatGPT has this new refined AI model that allows you to do a lot of interesting stuff, right? So in this case, we can see this shoe. Someone takes a picture of the specific shoe, and they can create a nice branding poster with the logo and everything, and even with text. It's amazing. You can also do things like this, for example, right? And you can also use real photographs. So they got this guy's face, they got this image, and they got these pants and made him walking down South Beach, Miami, which really looks like South Beach, Miami in terms of the coloring. And you can also make, different types of styles of image. So using the same type of image with same postures, same body parts, same people in the background, and make it look like this, right? So it's pretty insane how fast this is evolving, right? So what I want to do today is I actually want to get a few images of myself and create a thumbnail. I want to recreate a thumbnail. So I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos. I've actually been doing one YouTube video a day. And I have this particular video over here that has this thumbnail, right? And it's me in the middle. And then we have this cursor logo on the left. And we have this Xcode logo on the right. Basically what we did there was build a iOS app with no code using Cursor Composer. But basically, yeah, I just want to kind of rebuild this to have it, have some different perspectives, some different types of maybe positions of my posture of my face. Maybe I'm going like this or doing thumbs up. I don't know. I don't know what we can do with GPT-4o, but let's try something out and let's get started. And to have a better look of my thumbnail, we can go here, right? I built this in Figma, and you can kind of see how this looks like. There's like these grids in the background that kind of fade away. There's this nice little black to gray gradients. Now here there's like this black to blue gradient. We have the logo over here, and then we have two different types of text, right? So I'm actually going to save this. So I'm going to show my UI again, save this image as a reference. So we're going to put this as, we're going to say thumbnail 1. And then what I want to do is I have a bunch of pictures of me. They're always the same because I took like one photo shoot, and I'm basically like reusing all of my different pictures, which I should, definitely use AI to kind of help me. Instead of having to have a photo shoot every week, I can just use AI as a photo shoot, right? So I'm just going to take a bunch of these pictures that I have from me, right? I'm going to cut these, find some more. I know that I have a few more, so I'm just going to paste them right here. And I know that, for example, this one, I believe this one, right? So I do have a few good images here. Well, this one is a repeat, so let's just delete this one. So they're all me with the black shirt. And pretty much it. Might be a few ones that I'm missing, but I think this one. Oh no, we already have it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these. I'm just going to export these 7 layers as images. And I'm also going to go ahead and export these logos as images as well, just in case, right? Okay, now that we have these exported, I'm going to go ahead and open a new chat in ChatGPT and click on this plus sign and go upload from computer. And I'm going to go to my downloads, and in my downloads I have the cursor logo, I have the Xcode logo, and I exported these twice by accident, so just never mind me. Let me just pick a few of these, right? And let's just open this. And actually, let me just remove these logos first. Let me just import these. So, hello. These are pictures of me. Keep these in your knowledge base. So let's just do that. Okay, and it's already asking me want to do something cool with them, like design a personal brand graphic, thumbnail, or profile photo. Yes, I want a thumbnail. So let's say I want to create a thumbnail for a video comparing cursor with Xcode, right? Something very, vague, very general. So let's just start off like that and see what it creates. So right now we're just getting a concept. We're not really getting an idea based on my pictures. Create a thumbnail, a YouTube thumbnail, widescreen, say. Create a YouTube thumbnail of me in the middle holding the cursor logo on one hand and the Xcode logo on the other hand. Then, okay, let's just try like that. Let's see what it does. And in about 2 minutes, we got this image right here, right? So let's just analyze it. First, it kind of looks like me, but it really doesn't. I can't really do that thing with the lips so perfectly, right? It does look like it combined some of my images. I also have an image going like this, like with these two arms like that. We have this font here. I don't really like it so much. I like how it says the verses, so it kind of understands the context. It couldn't really find the cursor logo. I don't really like this matrix background. I don't think that this is perfectly proportional or symmetrical, right? I think it's a little bit more space here than on the left. It did get the Xcode logo good, and we didn't even provide that logo to the ChatGPT. So I mean, overall, for a very vague prompt and with these pictures provided, it did a pretty good job. But it's not enough to make a thumbnail. Now, what I do think might be interesting is trying to ask it to generate different poses of me, right? So I can just use that. I wouldn't create the whole thumbnail here in ChatGPT, but I would use it as like a photographer, right? And it would basically provide images of me in different poses, different moods, right? And then I can use that in some different videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that to see how that goes. Now, after a good 8 minutes playing around with this, I generated a few examples. And as you can see, if I hover over this, there's a transparent background, which is amazing. But the problem is, it doesn't really look like me. Maybe it's because I haven't really given it a lot of images, or I'm not so famous. I don't know. This one looks more like me in terms of the eyes. We have very different eyes. I would say maybe the nose and the mouth look similar, but not really the eyes, right? The eyes are kind of different in a way. Still kind of looks like me. Maybe it can be like a brother of mine. This one also like a brother or cousin, right? But this one does kind of look like me, right? And this is pretty cool. This is, I gave it, and by the way, I use this prompt. Can you please generate a profile image of me? So it already knows how I look like, looking surprised at the camera. And make it as a PNG so there is a transparent background. And I will then use this image to add to a thumbnail in Figma. So basically, it does understand everything. It just isn't quite right yet with the accuracy. And here, this one doesn't look like me at all. I just said of Lucas Marjorie, so I put my name. I do have a few YouTube videos. I was just curious to see if it kind of recognizes me. It recognizes me, but it really doesn't. And then I tried one looking confused. The look looks good, but it still does not look like me. I can't wait until it can start looking more like me, like there's some type of system where we can scan our face or something like that. Maybe there is a way to do that. I'd have to do a little bit more research, but overall, we can use this type of image, right? So we can go ahead and download that, and it downloads to our device as a PNG. We can go back into Figma, and I can go to my Finder and find that bad boy right here, bring it in here, and boom, we have it right here, perfectly cropped out, and I can just go ahead and put this into one of my thumbnails, and it looks like that, right? So it's starting to look really good. Now, one thing that I wanted to do, let's just go a little bit back. One thing that I want to do is I want to go and generate some types of patterns. So if we click on this image, I don't really like this background, but I do like this one. Like it's like a kind of like a show background. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to kind of generate this background for us. I'm gonna describe it as the first image I created, the pattern behind this Xcode logo. So it did create a pattern like this, where we have this nice, I don't know how to call it, like a shine thing. I don't know. And it also created these lines. Before that, it generated something like this, which also looks pretty cool. So we can download both and kind of have them here just as inspiration. But now, now we kind of want to bring everything together. So basically what we can also do is I can theoretically go to Figma and I can already start generating something. So I can just delete all of this stuff. I'm just going to move this over here, right? We have a bunch of stuff here that is we don't really need. I'm just going to make this black and delete these, right? So we're starting off from scratch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in these specific patterns, whatever you want to call them. So we have this pattern over here that looks pretty cool. We can make something like this, and we can theoretically put like some type of logo here, and we can put the text over here like this, right? And we can put my guy over here, or myself, something like this behind the text, obviously, and put some type of main subject over here. So that can be, for example, if we want to say like this thumbnail was made with AI, something like that. And then we can put like the GPT, I don't know if I have it somewhere. Oh, I have to download it again, but we can put like the GPT logo. Let's just say that it's here, right? So you can see that these lines kind of like make this a center of attention, right? So that's looking pretty cool. We can also add some gradients, right? I have some gradients like here. We can bring that and put that somewhere in here. Make that a little bit more just as decoration, right? So we can make it look like this. Maybe we can even make it darker. I think it's like a gray color. Yeah. I can make this one like that. And we have something interesting going on, right? So we can do this with Figma pretty easily, right? But what if we want to do something like this with ChatGPT? Let's just go back to ChatGPT and let's say I want to create a thumbnail that says this thumbnail was made with GPT-4. And then we write all caps instead of all caps except for O. For O. Right, so I want to create a thumbnail that says this thumbnail was made with GPT-4o. Please use the recent pattern as a background. Use my shocked, my, how it wasn't shocked, it was like surprised. Use my surprised face in the background with a giant, a giant open AI logo. Is it the open AI logo? Open AI logo, or is it ChatGPT logo? The giant ChatGPT. Okay, let's just do something like this. We're getting closer, right? All right, and now after about maybe 15 minutes of me trying out different variants, let's just start from the beginning. So I said, I want to create a thumbnail that says, this, please use the recent pattern as a background, and use my surprise face in the background with a giant OpenAI logo. So it generated this. At first, it's like a giant face of mine, and it says the text is perfect consistently. This thumbnail was made with GPT-4o OpenAI logo. OpenAI logo is also very consistent. And I said, in terms of text placement, please make it more in this style. Didn't really understand it. It kind of like changed the position. And I said, and I just repeated the message, but for this, and that kind of worked. But I actually like this one, but the text was going off a bit. So one thing that I did realize is that you have to kind of always remind it that it's generating a thumbnail for YouTube, right? So that the format of the image stays consistent, right? Because I was getting this big, bug, if you want to call it, inconsistency throughout, right? That the text was always being cut off, which was unfortunate because there was one that I really liked. It was this one that I really liked, but then this one ended up being pretty cool. I think I'm going to actually use this one for the video. And you can actually see me. It doesn't really look 100% like me. I would say maybe 80%-ish. So it's still not perfect, but it's pretty crazy that you can do this. And we've done it in, less than an hour, less than 30 minutes or something. So yeah, and that's that basically. And what you can do is you can generate more background styles. You can add more logos. You can change the text to look something different, to have a different type of font. You can make me wear a hat, right? So we can do stuff like that. You can make it in Lego style. So yeah, in Lego style, it would basically look like this. Obviously, again, I don't know why this keeps on happening with the text, that it gets cut off on the left, but it is me in a Lego form, and I think this is really impressive, right? So yeah, that was just a quick little, workshop on how to create thumbnails in ChatGPT. And if you guys have any other questions, if you want to see something in specific with this new model, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read more about your ideas, right? So yeah, that's basically it. Hope you all have a wonderful day today. Thank you so much for watching, like always, and bye-bye.